So I don't normally do tag videos, it's not typically my thing, but I've been seeing one that's been going around. It was started by Wylde, Hannah Hart participated in it, and I thought it was really interesting, so I thought I would give it a whirl right here. It's the gender tag. I don't really talk about gender very often, and I think gender is a really interesting thing, and it's something that's interesting in my life personally, but I just haven't really brought to YouTube very often, so here's a good chance to do that. Let's dive in. How do you self-identify your gender, and what does that definition mean to you? I identify as a male, a cisgender male, and I've always found pride in that definition because I've always wanted to establish what I call a different kind of masculinity. That's been something that I've been thinking about actively since like high school. I've always felt different, and I've wanted to establish a different version, a different way to be a guy. So it's always been significant for me to identify as a guy because I want to change it up. I want to introduce a new way to do it. That's always been something that I've thought about. What are your pronouns? I use he and his. Those are my pronouns. Describe the style of clothing that you most often wear. I'm definitely on team skinny jean. Pretty much everywhere I go I'm wearing skinny jeans, maybe a t-shirt, but sometimes I like to throw in really obnoxious patterns, like really ugly stuff that like I either hate or I love. And then other times I like to experiment with gendered clothing and wear things that typically guys wouldn't wear. Really depends on the mood that I'm in. Talk about your choices with body hair. Hate having body hair. I shave it all. Shave all of it. Arms, legs, stomach, butt, everything. Shave it. Get rid of it. I don't like it. Not a fan of it. I started doing it like a year ago just out of boredom / curiosity, and I felt way better about myself. I was also like less sweaty because I'm really hairy. I'm very hairy if I don't do anything about it. So talk about cosmetics. Do you wear makeup? Do you paint your nails? What types of soaps, perfumes do you use, if any? I don't wear makeup. I don't really use cosmetics. I pretty much just wash my hair and then do it. And that's pretty much it. I love wearing makeup, like when other people put it on me, I love how it looks, but I just haven't ever had the drive or desire to do it myself. That's never been something I've wanted to do enough to go and do it. Have you ever experienced being misgendered? If so, how often? Never really in person, but over the phone all the time. I used to answer phones at my old job back home, and I would be called ma'am maybe like half of the time, and sometimes I would play with it and just present female over the phone, just because for funsies. But yeah, never in person, but over the phone all the time because my voice, I guess, is higher and more feminine. But yeah. Do you experience dysphoria? How does that affect you? I wouldn't say that I don't really experience dysphoria. I think the closest thing that has ever happened to me in that regards, last year I did No Shave November, and I had a beard. Right, and there was one day where I looked at myself in the mirror and I just did not feel like it was me. It was too masculine, it was too manly, and I immediately shaved it off like within 5 minutes because I just hated it. I just don't like looking excessively masculine because that doesn't feel like it's me. If that makes any sense. Talk about children. Are you interested in having children? I'm not really thinking about having kids right now. In my mind, I would like that to be a two-person conversation and decision. I mean, you can be by yourself and raise kids. So many people do it. My mom did it, and it works fine, but I would prefer if I had another person to do that with me. So I'm 22, don't have that person, I'm not even thinking about it right now. Talk about money. Is it important to you to provide for a family financially if you choose to have one? Is it important to you that you earn more than any partner you may have? I think in my mind it's important that I help if I contribute to the family unit in a way that is effective for me personally, but also for the family. I think earning more, I don't really care about that. As long as everyone is happy, as long as the unit functions well, then that works for me, to be honest. Anything else you want to share about your experience with gender? Sure. Why not? My experience with gender has been relatively straightforward up until about a year and a half ago, as I started discovering different sides of myself with sexuality, but also with my gender expression. My gender itself, like how I identify, has never really felt like an issue to me. It's always been pretty solid, and I'm pretty happy and content to identify as a male. My gender expression is very fluid. It's a lot like my sexuality in that way. I identify as bisexual, but I experience it very fluidly, and it's the same with how I express myself in regards to gender. I just find gender to be an incredibly fascinating subject, and I think we should talk about it more. And on that note, you can do this tag. If you want to do this tag, you can send it to me on Twitter, on Tumblr, or whatever. I would love to see your videos. Yeah, because I think that this is a cool conversation, an important conversation to have, because I do think it's important that every single person thinks about themselves and their identity critically, because then we can get a better understanding of who we are and who we want to be. That's pretty much all I've got to say. I love you all a lot, and I will see you on Friday. If you didn't know, I make videos every Monday and Friday, and you can subscribe to see them, or you can follow me on other social networks to check them out there and see all my other things that I do. I love this lighting. It's like really dramatic. Just like me.